Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Well, good morning to you, Dave. We are in Indianapolis in the good old Midwest, and I know you're a Michigan guy. Are you these days in Michigan very often, or are you still out on the West Coast?
Oh, my wife and I moved back to Michigan. We're building a house here, and my family is here, and tons of friends. I love being in the Midwest again.
Oh, wonderful. I actually, before I moved to Indianapolis, because you know how radio takes you around, I worked in Detroit at WDRQ for a little bit. So Michigan's a special place for me. Yeah.
Sure. Was Mojo there at that time?
Mojo was not there, but I know Mojo from all the morning show conventions that we have been to. We have had many a good time in the hotel bar, Mojo and I.
Oh, boy. Well, I used to play a club in Indianapolis called Crackers, and those were some of the best shows I ever had. I had such a good time in Indianapolis. In fact, one time, the club owner's name was Jim Schliebner, and he said, you have to come in during race week. And I said, I can't wait. And he says, we got tickets, we got seats on the start-finish line. And I said, fantastic. That was the one year where the Indianapolis 500 got rained out. So I never got to see the race.
Oh, man. Oh,
Bummer, right?
That is such a bummer because it is something you need to do at least once. And I'll tell you, Dave, if you're interested in it, I've been here so long, I could certainly get to the right people and say, hey, we got to have this guy in, and maybe you could do the celebrity lap or be the grand marshal. I know we could make that happen because we'd love to have you here for the race.
I may take you up on that because there's a buddy of mine, Larry Murphy, who's a Hockey Hall of Famer, and he's a big car guy, and he goes down to the 500 every year, and he does the tailgating and all that stuff. So maybe I'll come down with Larry.
Yeah. Boy, if you could give him the experience that you get from the red carpet and that view right on the bricks, I'm telling you, it would make his whole life, and you would love it too. Please, I'm serious. Let me know if that's something you're interested in doing.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely interested. Absolutely, yeah.
All right, let's talk about what you're doing, because your podcast, Full House Rewind, is about to hit all the big platforms Friday. A week from today, and that includes YouTube. So we're gonna be having video of you with some of these guests and taking a trip back through. Are you rewatching this show for the first time?
Yeah, it might sound a little bit weird, but I never watched Full House. So this is a trip down memory lane for me too. And I'll tell you, I've actually made myself laugh a few times. I don't know how weird that sounds, but I've cracked up a few times, and it's wonderful to be able to give this back to our Full House fans. And I wanted to do something that was different from a podcast, so I created a television show. So this is a TV show that you can listen to, but you'll have 10 times more fun watching the show.
Totally get it. That's how my YouTube show is the same way. And I constantly remind people, hey, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you're missing the visuals. There are things that you really need to see.
Absolutely. I brought back Mr. Woodchuck. He's America's favorite puppet. And we brought back Comet the dog as a puppet. And then as an homage to my brother Bob Saget, we created a new character named Granny Tanner. And so she's a hipster granny that lives somewhere outside our studio, but we've got a little Full House set. We've got in-studio guests, and we read the Full House tear-jerking scene from that episode together. And there's so much visual eye candy to the show that I'm really encouraging people to watch it.
And with you watching for the first time, just the reactions for those of us who spent our Fridays and grew up and have these memories, to see you reacting and cracking yourself up for the first time. I'm super excited about it. And we have this next generation. My nephew, one of my nephews, is named Tanner, and like he has watched Fuller House, and the connection that we have had through another generation. so much fun for us as viewers who grew up with it to have you and so many of the cast continue to embrace it and create ways like your podcast to keep that connection alive.
Thank you. And I'm so happy that the next generation is getting to enjoy the show, because the show has really become multi-generational, and I've heard from so many fans what the show means to them. I hear from people often, hey, I had a tough childhood, or I didn't have a great family environment, and you guys were my family. And when you hear that kind of love, I just wanted to give that kind of love back to our fans, because we really do. We don't make the fans make us, right? I wanted to give that back to all of our wonderful Full House fans.
And did you at the time, because we obviously, knowing we were going to have you on, we've been having some conversations, did at the time how important the show was, that there was this representation for the non-traditional family?
We had no idea. We knew that we were going to do some tough subject matter, and we knew that we were going to be inclusive. We knew that we were going to try and tackle some subjects like Candace's, she DJs turning into a woman. So we wanted to talk about that. We wanted to talk about drugs. We wanted to talk about child abuse. We wanted to talk about alcohol. We wanted to really talk about subjects that real families talk about. But we also wanted to entertain. But we weren't trying to preach. We were just trying to be a real family, and we became a real family off camera as well.
We have had so many years of enjoying you, Dave, and the Full House family. Full House Rewind is, I'm telling you, everybody go to YouTube. Is the channel, is that what we look for, Full House Rewind, to go subscribe?
Full House Rewind. Yep, oh. Yeah, the channel's up right now. You can start following immediately and watch us, and we can't wait.
Are you recording at your home, or is that where you're doing these shows?
We have a studio out in Los Angeles, and that's where we record all the episodes.
Oh, right on. Okay, I was just checking because my studio's at home, and my cats hop on the show every once in a while, so I didn't know if we were going to see any of your dogs making an appearance.
Well, maybe I'll fly the dogs out to LA and have them on the show.
There we go. All right, Dave, if you decide you want to make a trip to Indy for the 500 next year, you know how to find me. And in the meantime, we will be following along with you and the new show. Thanks so much for being here with us today. Thank
you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another celebrity interview. Of course, the KJ Today Show isn't just about talking to celebs, it's about hanging out with you. Join us live on Wednesday nights for pop culture, people to know, and pets. The KJ Today Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch live Wednesday nights at 7.